Hi, everyone. This is Mrs. Harris, and I'm one of the reading and math interventionists at Moses by Beach. And I'm here today to read you the story, How Rocket Learned to Read. And this is our buddy Rocket. He's the main character of the story, and we're going to see how he ended up learning to read. Learning to read is super important, and your teachers work so hard to help you be great readers and to learn how to read every day. So let's find out what happens with Rocket. Rocket loved to play. He loved to chase leaves and chew sticks. He loved to listen to the birds sing. Every fall morning after chasing leaves, Rocket would lie down in his favorite spot under his favorite tree. There he'd sniff the neighborhood smells and settle in for a good nap. But one day, a little yellow bird startled Rocket. "Aha, my first student! Wonderful," she sang. Rocket was confused. "Student? I'm not a—" "But if I am your teacher," the bird interrupted, "then you must be my student." Rocket found it hard to argue with this little bird. "I'm so glad you saw my sign," the bird chirped. "Oh, yes, I can see it," Rocket said, "but I don't know how to read." "Can't read? Fantastic!" She waved a wing. "Welcome to my classroom." "But I just came here to nap," Rocket said. No, there will be no napping in class," declared the bird, "except, of course, during nap time. And the sign, friend, says class starts today." Here it is a little bit bigger. "Well, then, I can take a nap over here," said Rocket. "I had a very, very busy morning." "Not to worry. I'll be around every day," chirped the bird, "until the weather turns." As Rocket breathed in the crisp fall air, the little yellow bird hung her banner. "Ah, the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet," she marveled, "where it all begins." So there's that big alphabet banner. Opening up a book, the bird began to read. She sung out the story of an unlucky dog named Buster who lost his favorite bone. A cool breeze carried her lively voice across the yard. At first, Rocket was disturbed. That means he kind of felt bothered or like even a little bit annoyed. But before long, he found himself captivated. That means like he was just so in amazement over the story. To Rocket, the story was as delicious as the earthy smells of fall. It was as exciting as chasing leaves. He closed his eyes and he listened to every single word. As Buster dug and dug under the lilac bush, the bird read, he felt something familiar. Rocket waited. Was it a bone? He wondered. Silence. "Well, was it the bone?" he called to the bird. More silence. "Was it the bone?" Rocket hollered, suddenly rushing over to the tree. "Well, was it?" But the little yellow bird was gone. Oh, Buster just wanted to figure out the answer to that question. He wanted to figure out if it was the bone in the story that Buster found. But the bird left before he could, and look what's in the tree, the book. The next morning, Rocket arrived very early. At last, the little yellow bird appeared. "Hello, how wonderful to see you in my class," she chirped. "I can tell by your waggy tail that you are very well rested." "I'd like to hear the end of that story, please," said Rocket. "That seems like a fine way to start the day," chirped the bird. She gave Rocket a name tag and began to read. And this little sign says, "Word of the day, dog." Every day, Rocket returned to the little yellow bird's classroom. In the morning, the bird taught him a new letter until he had learned all of the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet. Together, they sang out the sounds that each letter makes and spelled the sounds they heard around them. With a G and an R, they spelled Mr. Barker's grrr. They spelled the sound of the wind, which was growing colder by the day. Whoosh. Soon they were spelling words like F-A-L-L. That spells fall for the gusty time of the year. And R-E-D. That spells red for the color of the leaves. And each afternoon, the bird read a story. She read stories about dogs and birds. She read about leaves changing colors and birds flying south for the winter. Then one day the weather turned and the letter banner disappeared. See you again in the glorious spring, the bird sang. As she flew into the wintry sky, she called, "Don't forget, words are built one letter at a time." Well, there's Rocket. There's his teacher flying away because it's winter time now. The days grew shorter and the leaves fell from the trees. The grass became crunchy. Soon Rocket's classroom disappeared under the snow. He remembered the little yellow bird's alphabet and he practiced his letters. Rocket thought about the bird's sweet chirp while he sounded out words like dig, and wind, and cold, He made new friends and he spelled their names. Hello, E-M-M-A. That spells Emma. Hi there, F-R-E-D, Fred. He spelled everything. S-U-N, sun. M-E-L-T, melt. When Rocket spelled M-U-D, mud, he knew that spring, as it always does, had returned. There's that mud. There's a new sign. It says class starts tomorrow. The breeze blew warmer, the grass grew greener, and a sign appeared. Early the next morning, Rocket rushed to his classroom and he waited. He spelled wag. Soon the little yellow bird arrived. Aha, my star student! She sang, how wonderful to see you. I can tell by your waggy tail that you are ready for class. And it says, welcome back, Rocket. Together, they began to read. They read stories about birds flying north in the spring. They read about picnics in the warm sun. And they read about Buster, the lucky dog, who found his bone under the lilac bush. And when they were done, they read it again and again and A-G-A-I-N again. And that's the end of our story. So friends, I hope you enjoyed hearing how Rocket learned to read, and all the teachers at Moses by Beach want you to know how proud of you we are for everyone trying their best to learn how to read and be a better reader every single day. We are proud of you. Bye, friends.